You are in a season of deep self-focus and growth, a time where your energy is being directed inward to nurture your dreams, your goals, and your innermost desires. This is not a moment for distractions or for living according to the expectations of others. Instead, it is a sacred period of recalibration, where you are aligning yourself with your higher purpose and allowing your independence to shine. You stand strong and capable, proving to yourself and to the world that you do not need validation, financial assistance, or emotional dependency on anyone else in order to thrive. This independence, though inspiring and powerful, has left your person feeling uncertain about what they could possibly offer you. They are struggling with feelings of inadequacy, questioning whether they are good enough for you, and wrestling with the idea that you may not need them at all. They recognize that any man would be lucky to stand beside you, and that thought alone fills them with insecurity and fear. Your person is carrying the heavy burden of loneliness. Their thoughts often spiral into a cycle of negativity and fear, and no matter how much they try to distract themselves, the emptiness seems to return. In the beginning of your connection, they purposely chose to ignore you, believing it would make you want them more. They thought that withholding attention would cause you to chase them, to fall harder, and to prove your devotion. They played games with your heart and with their own, but what they did not realize is that in trying to manipulate your emotions, they were only toying with their own. Over time, the mask they wore began to crack, and they were forced to see how deeply they had hurt themselves. Now they sit with shame, realizing that the games they played were not clever or strategic but self-sabotaging and destructive. Life has not been easy for them, and much of what they are experiencing now feels like the weight of karma. Their actions, their choices, and their patterns of avoidance have caught up with them, and they are beginning to recognize that they are paying the price for their behavior. You, in many ways, have been a mirror for them. Through your strength, your light, and your unwavering sense of self, you have brought them closer to the divine. They are beginning to understand lessons about truth, vulnerability, and love that they had long avoided. Now, in their moments of solitude, they find themselves praying, asking God for forgiveness. They plead for another chance, hoping that somehow the divine will guide you back into their life. They know that only God truly understands the depth of what they feel for you, because they have not had the courage to express it openly. Regret lingers heavily within them. They regret choosing karmic situations and superficial connections over the depth and purity of the bond they shared with you. They regret allowing fear and pride to guide their decisions rather than love and honesty. When they look at you, they see someone with a soul so pure, someone with the rare ability to mend what is broken. You carry a presence that heals, inspires, and transforms, and they cannot deny the impact you have had on their life. They did not even realize what was missing from their world until they encountered you. At first, they may not have understood the significance of your connection, but over time, they found themselves falling into a love so deep that it caught them by surprise. Without even recognizing when or how it happened, their heart became tied to yours. And yet, despite the depth of their feelings, they were raised in an environment where emotions were suppressed, where vulnerability was seen as weakness. That conditioning left them fearful of revealing their true heart. They kept their emotions locked away, leaving you in the dark about how they truly felt. The fear of being exposed, of being hurt, of being seen for who they really are, created a barrier between you. Now, in hindsight, they realize the weight of that choice. They feel guilty for allowing fear to dictate their actions and for leaving you unsure of the love that has always been there beneath the surface. In their heart, their emotions for you are real, raw, and undeniable. They know they cannot erase the past, but they long for a future where they can finally live in truth, where they can break free from the cycles of fear and insecurity that have held them captive. They are ashamed of how they treated you and ashamed of the way they treated themselves in the process. They are learning, slowly, that love cannot flourish in games, fear, or avoidance. It can only thrive in honesty, vulnerability, and trust. Your person continues to wrestle with these realizations, and although they feel the weight of guilt, they also feel a spark of hope. They know they must face their karma and take accountability for their actions, but they hold on to the prayer that the divine may offer them grace. More than anything, they long for the chance to show you the love they once hid. They want to prove that their emotions are not fleeting or shallow but deep, enduring, and real. And though they are still learning how to step into that vulnerability, their heart whispers the truth that they never stopped loving you, they only stopped themselves from showing it. I was such a fool, blind to the truth that was right in front of me. At the time, I couldn't see how good you were to me, how much you loved me, and how much of yourself you gave without asking for anything in return. You were always on my side, no matter how careless I was or how stubborn I acted. You stood by me, even when I didn't deserve it, and you knew me better than anyone ever has. You understood the things I couldn't put into words. You saw the parts of me I didn't want anyone to see, and instead of running away, you stayed. Looking back now, I can finally admit what I was too blind to recognize then. You were my safe place, my true companion, my love. For so long, I was lost in my own pride and selfishness. I thought I knew what I wanted, thought I understood what love was, but I had no idea. I lived like someone who believed love was just a game, a distraction, something you could play it without getting hurt if you didn't let it get too close. I thought that was safer, easier, and more exciting. But then you came into my life, and you shattered all of that. You weren't just another person passing through, you were different. With you, it wasn't a game. It was real, it was powerful, and it was overwhelming in the best possible way. I miss the light you brought into my world, the childlike energy that made even the simplest moments feel magical. I remember your laughter, the way you could brighten a room, and the way you made me forget about the weight I carried. You reminded me what joy feels like when it's pure and unforced. I want that again. I want you again. I want to marry you, to call you my wife, and to promise you the life I was once too afraid to give. The truth is, I never thought I'd be the kind of man to settle down. I used to tell myself that relationships weren't for me, that I would live freely, play the game, and never let anyone tie me down. But then you appeared, and you rewrote the entire script of my life. Suddenly, the thought of commitment didn't feel like a trap, it felt like freedom. It felt like finally finding home. You had me thinking about the future in ways I never had before. For the first time, I could see myself building a life with someone, and that someone was you. I dream about what that life could look like. I imagine waking up next to you every morning, sharing our coffee in the quiet moments before the world intrudes. I imagine traveling the world with you, holding your hand in foreign cities, creating memories we'd carry forever. I think about children, about being a father to the family we could build together, and I can almost see their faces, little reflections of us, living proof of our love. That vision of the future brings me a joy I can't explain, and it's all because of you. You drive me crazy in the most beautiful way. You are a mystery, endlessly fascinating, and no matter how much I learned about you, there was always more to discover. Your love never grew dull, it was always a thrill, a spark that lit me up from the inside. No one else has ever matched the way you stirred my mind, body, and soul. You are the one I crave, the one I long for, the one I ache to hold again. I want to make you feel loved in ways you never have before. I want to romance you, to remind you of your beauty, and to show you that with me, you will never have to doubt how deeply you are cherished. But I know I failed at showing you that before. I know my actions, my immaturity, and my fear of being vulnerable got in the way. I didn't expect to fall for you the way I did, and when I realized the depth of my feelings, I panicked. I didn't know how to handle it, so I acted recklessly. I made mistakes. For that, I am sorry, truly, deeply sorry. I wish I had been braver. I wish I had told you sooner how much you mean to me instead of hiding behind a mask of indifference. You were never just another chapter in my story, you were the turning point, the moment everything shifted. You changed me. You showed me what love really is, not a game, not a fleeting thrill, but something lasting, something worth fighting for. And even though I can't change the past, I want you to know that I see it clearly now. I see you clearly now. I don't want to spend the rest of my life wishing I had done more, wishing I had fought harder to keep you. I want to fight now. I want to love you with everything I have, to give you the kind of devotion and partnership you deserve. Because you were my first true love, and I know deep down you are my forever love too. Your partner perceives you as one in a million, someone who effortlessly shines no matter the setting. In a world where most people blend into the background, you stand out naturally without even trying. It is not only your outer charm but also the way you carry yourself with such grace and confidence that makes you unforgettable. They admire how you never feel the need to pretend or put on a facade. Instead, you are unapologetically yourself, whether you are with them, with strangers, or standing before the entire world. This authenticity draws them closer to you every day because they know they can trust what they see is the real you. To your partner, your beauty is not just in appearance but in simplicity, in the effortless way you bring peace and warmth wherever you go. They find this quality deeply attractive, seductive even, because it is rare to find someone who can inspire love without needing to do too much. Your presence alone makes them feel safe, cherished, and deeply cared for. They want to express, again and again, how loved they feel when they are around you. Despite the mistakes and wrongs they may have committed in the past, they look at you with awe because you never chose to hurt them in return. Unlike others who might have sought revenge or bitterness, you remain kind-hearted and forgiving. This strength of character sets you apart and only strengthens their love for you. They see in you a person who truly walks the talk. You do not simply speak of values, responsibility, and resilience, you embody them. Your partner respects how hardworking you are and how you face life's challenges with determination instead of complaint. They know that you are someone with an unshakable foundation, a man or woman of principle whose character cannot be questioned. You never fall into the trap of selfishness, arrogance, or rudeness. Instead, you hold yourself with dignity, respect, and kindness. That gentleness, combined with your compassion for others, makes them love you even more deeply. One of the qualities they cherish most about you is the elegance with which you communicate. You never throw words carelessly, you think, you feel, and then you speak in a way that resonates with honesty and understanding. Whether you are expressing joy, sadness, or even disappointment, you do it with such clarity and grace that it never feels harsh. To your partner, this is one of your greatest gifts, because it allows them to feel truly understood in ways they never experienced before. They admire how you balance responsibility with mystery, how you can be dependable yet still hold an aura of depth that they are eager to explore. That mysterious side of you is like a magnet, constantly pulling them in, making them want to learn more about the different layers of your soul. Your partner also understands that you are not someone who easily opens up to everyone. You are naturally introverted, someone who values depth over surface-level connections. You are selective about who you spend your time with, and this only makes your bond with them feel more special. They know that if you have chosen them, it is because they truly matter to you, and that realization fills them with gratitude and pride. To them, you are not just a partner but a rare treasure, a complete package of beauty, strength, wisdom, and tenderness. They cannot imagine taking the risk of losing you again, because losing you would mean losing someone who has become their safe place, their anchor, and their greatest inspiration. They look at you and see not just who you are now, but everything you represent, your resilience, your kindness, your discipline, your compassion, and the way you live by your values. They see someone who gives without expecting anything in return, someone who supports without judgment, and someone who loves without conditions. To them, you are irreplaceable, and the thought of anyone else ever filling your place feels impossible. You have set a standard for love, loyalty, and companionship that they never thought they would experience. What captivates them even more is your ability to remain humble despite all these admirable qualities. You do not seek recognition, nor do you need constant validation. Instead, you quietly let your actions speak louder than your words. This humility combined with your inner strength makes you someone they deeply respect, not just as a partner but as a human being. They admire your balance, how you can be soft yet strong, kind yet firm, mysterious yet transparent when it matters most. In their heart, they know that you are not just their partner but also their guiding light, someone who shows them what it truly means to love and to be loved. You make them want to become a better version of themselves, not because you demand it, but because your example inspires it naturally. To them, you are rare, precious, and extraordinary. You are not just the love of their life, you are the one person they would never dare to lose, the one who holds their heart with both tenderness and strength.